In the news this week, 2024 has been a struggle. Our exclusive opinion poll reveals West Aussies' verdict on whether they're better off this year.
Ellenbrook train line finally opens to the public as the Prime Minister visits the West to celebrate.
More than 70 charges laid as police foiled an alleged local phishing scam network.
Free toys for children in Fremantle. The local council's reuse shop spreads joy this festive season. And later, Dr. Andrew Miller's medical comment.
This is The Evening News with Ivan Loom and Maliva Thorne.
Good evening. West Aussies are struggling in 2024. That's what our viewers confessed to us in this year's final WAMN News opinion poll, as the cost of living and inflation wreak havoc on household budgets. The question asked was, as 2024 comes to an end, do you feel you're better off or worse off as a Western Australian? The final results show that 54% participating viewers said they're struggling, a rise of 12%. Meanwhile, 30% said they are doing average, a dramatic drop from 42% due to the number of people did not increase. And only 15% of participants said they've done well. With the election coming in less than 100 days, hip pocket concerns will still be the main issue on voters' minds. Greens leader and Upper House MP Brad Pettit joins us to discuss the results and what they imply. Brad, thanks for being with us. The numbers have changed a lot in the past 2 weeks, showing struggling viewers went up, while viewers doing average stagnated, and that's why the percentage went down. What does this tell you?
I think West Australians especially are experiencing a cost of living crisis like never before. We have seen inflation go up at very high levels. Rents gone up over 50% in this term of government, and mortgage rates as well. So people are doing it really tough, and that's flowing not just for people who don't have jobs, which you normally expect, but we've got a new wave of working poor like we've never seen before here in WA.
In any economic situation, there's always people that have done well, but most importantly, both federal and state governments have rolled out tax cuts around $2,600 per family, the electricity credit of $700, another over $300 for small and medium-sized businesses on top, and then you got student assistance bonus, the two-zone public transit fares, and so on and so forth. All these things really add up. So why people are still struggling?
Look, what we've seen, unfortunately, with these measures, and I think you highlight, there's a whole long list of them, but they've all ended up really as band-aids on the weeping wound that is cost of living, because they haven't properly got to the heart of the key issue here, which is that the big parts, people's everyday things, their food, their rent, their mortgages, the things that people need every day have gone through the roof, and you can't paper over that with caps on public transport or free trips to the zoo. That's not going to cut it when the fundamentals are broken.
Are you surprised that the number of people doing average have stagnated as people who are struggling shot up?
No, I'm not really. Unfortunately, what we've seen is a real two-speed economy in WA where, look, there are people who are doing okay, who are working in the resources sector, who are earning good money, but even then, they're not feeling like they're particularly getting ahead. But there are so many of those who are on average wages, on 70 or 80,000 a year, who can't afford a rental in most parts of Perth or Western Australia, and it really can't afford the basics, and certainly can't even dream of buying a house anymore in this state, where now the average house price is pushing $900,000. It's broken and it needs to be fundamentally fixed.
Finally, real wages to a certain extent have gone up when Albanese in Labor took office. Do you believe the growth did happen, but ironically got eaten away by inflation again?
Yeah, that's right. So that's what we've really seen, is that whilst we were starting to see some improvement in real wages and underlying that productivity, in recent years, as inflation's ticked up, it's eaten up all that growth. And certainly over the last year or two, the basics around housing and food especially have totally eaten up that real wage growth to the point where people don't feel better off anymore.
And you can read the full story right now on the WAMN Extra News Club. Brad, may I wish you an early Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks for being here.
Merry Christmas to you and all your listeners and watchers too.
Perth's METRONET railway project marks a significant milestone this weekend, the official opening of the Ellenbrook train line. After decades of debate, the northeastern suburbs of Perth finally have improved public transport, with Prime Minister Anthony Albanese joining Premier Cook for the inaugural ride. Paige Reid reports.
With the cutting of ribbons and the sounding of a train horn, the much-anticipated Ellenbrook METRONET rail line has finally entered service. After more than 30 years of anticipation, political debates and broken promises by the Liberals, the McGowan and Cook Labor government have delivered major public transport infrastructure for Perth's northeast within just 3 years of construction.
This has been a long time coming, but this is such a significant project. A well-planned and accessible public transport system is the key to great cities.
Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, WA Premier Roger Cook and Deputy Premier Rita Saffioti and other honourable members took the first ride, joined by members of the public celebrating the milestone occasion. The new line features 6 railway stations linking Ellenbrook to the Bayswater interchange station before continuing into the city.
The new METRONET journey to the CBD is estimated to take 30 minutes, providing significant relief from traffic congestion on the Tonkin Highway and across Perth's north suburbs.
What a day for Ellenbrook. This is big. This is a great opportunity to celebrate investment in great transport infrastructure.
For long-suffering commuters and local residents in Ellenbrook, this weekend's railway opening marks the beginning of a stress-free travel experience. Meanwhile, bus and railway enthusiasts seized the opportunity to document the historic event. With this project completed alongside the ongoing Armidale line reconstruction and the new Coburn to Thornley Metro train line, Perth's railway evolution is layering a strong foundation for the Labor Party's campaign in the 2025 state election. Paige Reid, WAMN News.
WA police have charged 4 men with more than 70 offences over alleged SMS scam charges. The arrest comes as part of a year-long investigation examining the complex SMS phishing scam happening in WA that is being organised by a criminal syndicate. Midland police detectives commenced their investigation after federal authorities found several Aussies bank customers had their accounts compromised due to text message scams. Police will be alleging that a local crime syndicate sent text messages to victims to gain banking logins, card details and passwords. They then allegedly used the details to spend more than $350,000 via Apple Pay at various retail stores in Perth during July and August 2023. Police have arrested and charged 4 people aged between 19 to 31 years old. All are scheduled to appear in court in December this year or January next year.
WA police have seized hundreds of thousands of dollars and 2 luxury cars in 2 stings targeting Gypsy Joker and Hells Angels motorcycle gangs. In August 2024, detectives began investigating alleged property laundering by the Hells Angels in Perth. On December 4, a 52-year-old senior member and an 18-year-old were arrested. The older man faces charges of failing to notify a new address and property laundering, while the younger faces property laundering and drug charges. They will appear in Rockingham Magistrates Court on December 27. In a separate March 28 operation, police searched 6 locations, including the Gypsy Joker Clubhouse in Maddington. Nearly $500,000 was seized from a Mount Helena home, leading to the arrest of a 35-year-old Gypsy Joker member from Stoneville. He faces property laundering charges and will appear in the Midland Magistrates Court on January 3rd.
The Cook Labor government announced that a new state-of-the-art facility at North Metropolitan TAFE in Balga will open in Term 1 2025. Premier Roger Cook officially unveiled the Construction Skill Innovation Hub, set to benefit over 5,800 students annually. The facility replaces 22 outdated classrooms, enhancing building and construction training. Premier Cook stressed the need to expand the construction workforce to meet housing demand, while Training Minister Simone McGurk highlighted the importance of modern facility for future tradies. This hub is part of the government's $250 million Rebuilding Our TAFE plan, which has upgraded 22 campuses since 2017, including Albany, Joondalup and Midland.
Fremantle residents are getting a Christmas treat this weekend with the City Council's reuse shop giving out free toys to members of the public this festive season. The community's best kept secret got underway on Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m, with volunteers and Santa greeting local families who are seeking bargain items and picking up free toys for children. The event has been proven popular with locals as the cost of living crisis forbids less fortunate families from purchasing toys for their children this festive season.
Fantastic reaction. The people who are coming here, some of them were here last year, couldn't wait till this year, and they're telling their friends as well. So it's quite successful.
And now here's Dr. Andrew Miller with his weekly medical and news commentary.
Thanks for your time. It's been interesting to hear reports this week that Amber Jade Sanderson may be looking for a new portfolio to get away from health after the next election. And although she's a very capable minister, it is a portfolio that carries with it some very large problems that have eluded solutions from not just the current Premier Roger Cook, but also previous governments of all persuasions, being the increased demand on state public health services in the face of just not enough money coming through from Treasury to keep up with the population growth and the replacement of infrastructure that's now starting to look pretty tired. Even Fiona Stanley's now over a decade old and has seen an awful lot of use in that time. But the older hospitals certainly are in need of replacement, upgrading, and we do still need extra beds despite the gains that have been made. The federal government has attempted to step into the space by opening GP super clinics in various places, and these are not as cost effective as just funding general practice more effectively and matching the indexation of the rest of inflation in the Medicare rebates that it provides to patients when they're, for example, bulk billed. So we live in a rich country. We do have terrifically successful primary industry, and the question is how to divide those spoils. The population will expect that universal health care is part of living in an advanced country, and that this will be well funded along with things like education and security. So it behoves all politicians of all persuasions to explain how they are going to adequately fund and continue the sustainability of our universal healthcare system, which is very much a part of the Australian identity, as it should be for any country that wants to look after its own. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Andrew Miller. Now, free toys in Fremantle. What a treat.
Well, anyone can get their hands onto it, and in fact, it was across the weekend. Bill was wearing the Santa suit. I'm surprised he didn't wear any shorts. You know, I thought that the Santa Claus in Australia wear shorts. You know, that's something that I've learned about it.
It certainly sounds like quite the experience, and you know, lots of toys to get your hands on. What did you get, Ivan?
I got a red bus because I like that. It's actually a very, very big one. I think it's actually that big.
Oh wow!
But you should go and get it too. You fancy? I mean, there's a lot of things for that. In fact, there's a lot of bargains too. Not just toys. Toys are free for everybody. But if you want some books, some good reading books, I think Paige would definitely love some. And all the other furnitures and so on and so forth, you can get it at a very cheap price. And most importantly, you recycle things. You're not wasting and putting them into the landfill instead.
Well, that really sounds like it's getting into the Christmas spirit. Now, here's what's coming up on 6 News tonight.
Thanks guys, the top stories we're following here on 6 News. The coalition hits out at Labor over their response to the Melbourne synagogue arson attack as Palestinian advocates slam Benjamin Netanyahu for linking Australia's UN vote to the blaze. South Korea's embattled president survives an impeachment vote as members of his party boycott parliamentary proceedings as he issues a public apology for enacting martial law, And strike over, workers end their industrial action at Woolworths distribution centres ahead of Christmas after accepting a fresh offer following almost 3 weeks of picketing. You can watch live 24/7 on the 6 News YouTube channel. For now though guys, it's back to you.
Thanks very much. And that's our weekly news and current affairs. We have the latest news on our website, wamnnews.com.au.
Don't forget to subscribe to the WAMN Extra News Club so we can continue our work in the community. Full details on wamnews.com.au/news/extra. From Melly and myself, wish you good health, good night, and remember to join us next week for our final news broadcast for 2024. Until then, we'll see you then.
Thanks for watching.